All right, week 14 brought us some crazy things. Let's start right off with the biggest headlines of the week. We got Philip Rivers, who was worked out by the Indianapolis Colts. Philip Rivers is 44 years old. Last season he played in the league, it was 2020. It actually was with the Colts. He played one season. They finished 11-5 that year. They made it to the playoffs. They lost their first game against the Buffalo Bills. So he does have familiarity with Shane Steichen in that offense, so it would be like a seamless fit. It makes sense theoretically for them to get a workout with Philip Rivers, but just the age, him being 44, him having 4 years off, not playing in the league, and that just shows how desperate the Colts are right now. I think that, this is kind of the last resort kind of thing. Riley Leonard was the rookie quarterback that filled in for Daniel Jones when he got injured, but he actually got Riley Leonard actually got injured as well. He has like a PCL on his knee, so he's actually questionable to see if he's going to play this week against the Seahawks in Seattle. So this is like a really big game for the Colts. Things look pretty bleak for them right now, but if Philip Rivers does have any life left, he would be in a good situation. The Colts do have a good offensive line. They have a good running game. They have a quality defense, so everything is in place for him to succeed, but it just would be the thing of him being out for 4 years and the speed of the game, he had to catch up to it like super quickly. So that is something that we should look at and keep an eye on. I personally think that it could work. It just would have to be, it might not be this week, the week that it actually does work. But like I said before, the Colts are in such a dire need of a quarterback. The only other quarterback on their roster is somebody on the practice squad. So Anthony Richardson is still out with the orbital fracture in his eye that he suffered, I think a week. He's been on injured reserve for a while now. They don't know if he's going to come back this season. So this is like a Hail Mary shot right here. So Philip Rivers, 44, signed to the practice squad of the Colts. I think he's actually going to wind up playing this week in Seattle. And I think that it'd be something different. I'm going to limb and say that if he does play, it'll be a very basic offense. They'll lean on Jonathan Taylor. They'll lean on the defense to do a lot, and they'll lean on the ability to try to force some turnovers. They'll try to make Sam Darnold into the pumpkin that he is. So, yeah, I just say that. On to the next headline. We got Monday Night Football just ended. Today's Tuesday. The Eagles lost 22-19 in overtime in LA to the Chargers. The Eagles fall to 8-5, losing 3 straight. This is not really a good look for the Eagles because they're letting the second place team in the division back into it, which is Dallas Cowboys. So Jalen Hurts had a 5 turnover game, which is not really good. This is coming after the week in which it was reported that Nick Sirianni was going to be more involved with the offense. But in reality, I think that, this is my personal opinion, I think that Nick Sirianni being involved with the offense is kind of just him persuading Jalen Hurts to do things that he doesn't normally do, just to try to do something different. But I think in this particular game, it backfired because the things that he did, the interceptions that he threw, was over the middle. Was a lot of stuff that he doesn't normally do. So I think that they're trying to do something differently in this game. So it kind of backfired. And also, just watching the game, I think the first drive of the game, they scored their touchdown, and most of it was like running from Saquon. Saquon scored a rushing touchdown, but they went away from that. They didn't continue running the ball. I don't know what's up with that, but anyway, the Eagles lost to the Chargers. The Chargers, on the other hand, a lot of people picked the Eagles to win just because of Justin Herbert's status with his left hand being basically, you can't use it basically, but he had a altered cast or something to go over it to protect it. I kind of thought he wasn't going to be able to go to the center, but he was going under the center, dropping screen passes, throwing down the field. So Justin Herbert looked pretty good. He's pretty tough. I give him credit for that. But I will say the Eagles gave the Chargers every chance to win this game, and the Chargers took it. So, the Eagles lost 22-19, dropped to 8-5. Like I said before, they give the Cowboys life in their division. Cowboys are 6-1. I'm going to say, looking at these last 4 games, even though the Cowboys are 2 back, they're only one more loss than the Eagles, because they got 5 losses. The Eagles and the Cowboys have 6. So just looking at their schedule, the Eagles play the Raiders, the Commanders, the Bills, and the Commanders. So they're home against the Raiders. They're in Washington to play the Commanders. Then they're in Buffalo to play the Bills. Then they end the season with the Commanders. The Cowboys, they playing the Vikings, the Chargers, then the Commanders, then the Giants. So they're at home against the Vikings and the Chargers. Then they play at Washington against the Commanders, and at New York to play the Giants. So just looking at the schedule, the one common denominator is the Commanders. If the Commanders could pull off any kind of upset against either the Eagles or the Cowboys, they might wind up swinging this thing. So yeah, the Cowboys still have hope just because the Eagles keep on giving it to them. So it's not a good look. If I had to make a prediction, I will say I still believe in the Eagles to win the division just because of the hole that the Cowboys were in to start the year. So, but anything can happen. I'm still gonna roll with the Eagles to win the division. I think they're gonna pull it out and make the playoffs either as a 3 seed or a 4 seed. So we go on to my power ranking for week 15. some changes coming up this way, but we're gonna start it off, jump right into it. We got the Bills at number 5. The Bills are 9-4. They're coming off a win against the Bengals, who they beat 39-34. It was looking pretty rough for them. They was in Buffalo. Joe Burrow was back. The Bengals were 3-0 previously when Joe Burrow started the game this season. This was his first game coming off an injury. Joe Burrow had the Bengals doing everything that they possibly could do to win the game. And I would say, me personally, I think it was 2 fluke interceptions. The defensive lineman tapped the ball. It was another batted play. So there was some freak interceptions happening in the third and fourth quarter to just help the Bills out. But it is a team game. The Bills did win, finish fair and square. So I got the Bills at number 5 at 9-4. Coming at number 4, we have the Packers, who are 9-3-1. The Packers beat the Bears 28-21. It was a great game. The Bears previously was 9-3, but they fell to 9-4. That allowed the Packers to overtake them in the division for the NFC North. So the Packers are 9-3-1. They just beat the Bears. They were at home. I think Jordan Love is kind of coming into his own. The defense, like I said before, they are Super Bowl caliber. Only thing they needed was their quarterback to come help them out, and the quarterback did just that. The Bears couldn't really get their offense going until like the last third or fourth quarter. I think the Packers defense did a good job of keeping them on lock. They did their thing. So the Packers are 9-3-1, and I think they're the 4th best team in the league. Going to the number 3 team, the Broncos, who are 11-2. They beat a divisional rival in the Raiders 24-17. They just been consistent all year, 11-2. Like I said, they got 2 losses. They got the best record in the league, tied for the best record in the league. They just been consistent. I will say the defense is Super Bowl level as well. The only thing that you got to worry about when it comes to the Broncos is whether Bo Nix can do enough to keep the team in the game. That's the only thing you got to worry about. They got Sean Payton, who's a great head coach. He got a lot of experience. He won a Super Bowl with the Saints. So that's why I said the only question mark for the Broncos is if their quarterback can get them constantly in the game. So the Broncos coming in number 3. Number 2, the Patriots. They were on the bye this previous week, but they're still 11-2, tied for the best record in the league. And they are a complete team. Drake May is doing his thing in the second year, taking it to another level. The defense is coming to play. Special teams, they got some great returners. They always return the kicks, giving them good field position to start off the drives. So the Patriots 11-2. The only question mark I got with them is they're a young team, and I think in the playoffs it'll be something where most of the time teams do well in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, it's a different animal. I'm not going to say anything bad, but I just think that sometimes you gotta earn your stripes before you go to certain levels. So Patriots are number 2, 11-2. Coming number 1, 10-3. The Rams. I think they're the best team in the league. They're coming off a game in which they beat the Cardinals 45-17. It really wasn't close. Well, it was close in the first half. In the second half, they pulled away. I think it was tied 14-14 at one point, but they pulled away and they just gave the Cardinals no kind of hope to win the game. I didn't think it was going to be close anyway, but I think the Rams are the best team in the league. The connection between Matthew Stafford and his 2 receivers, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, is off the charts. They got 2 great running backs now with Blake Corum and Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams got a nose for the end zone, and if they keep Blake Corum on the same path, then I don't really know how you can stop them. I still think Matthew Stafford is going to be MVP of the league, and I think that their defense, once they get a lead, their pass rush is coming straight after the quarterback. So the Rams, my number 1 team in the league going forward. There we go, the top 5 in the league. We got the Bills number 5, the Packers number 4, Broncos number 3, Patriots number 2, and the Rams number 1.